Today's video is will be a Mega Man X weapons tier list. Well, three of them to be exact. One for all of X's weapons, one for all of Zero's techniques, and one for Axel's different weapons in X8.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, now there's a lot to cover here, especially compared to the classic series.
But I'll try and.
For one, every weapon can be charged throughout the whole series for X.
Mm-hmm.
X can charge any weapon throughout the whole series. These not just ones with a charge, not just ones that have a charge shot baked into them.
Yeah.
They're more powered here.
Yeah. 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 Okay. So yeah, this is a pretty large. Yeah, X has a pretty large list.
Very large list of things to talk about here.
Mm-hmm.
Considering these weapons have a tendency to be a lot more complex than some of the classic weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Though actually, most of them tend to be basically classic weapons in a new context.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, all right.
I take shotgun ice for example. That's basically just freeze cracker.
Other way around.
Oh right, shotgun ice came first.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that came first. Yeah. Or moreover, classic weapons. A bunch of classic weapons copied. Moreover, a bunch of classic weapons copied.
Copied X weapons.
Oh yeah, there's this armor tier list.
Armor tier list too. Put that in here. This is gonna be a quadruple feature.
Because I realized I still had that.
Open that up too.
Yeah.
We'll do that before X at the end or after X weapons.
I guess after X weapons.
Okay.
And so with all right. I guess let's start from the bottom.
With the worst weapons.
These oh god.
These weapons are usually just for boss weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes aren't even useful for that.
Mm-hmm.
There is no super arm tier this time, at least.
Yeah.
Yay, I guess.
Yay, yeah. Mm-mm. Mm-mm, yeah, yay. Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, where are we starting here?
Oh Lord, wing spiral. Wind spiral.
What is this weapon?
Spiral Pegasus' weapon.
What does this one do? I never see you use it, probably for good reason.
It's a it's this fucking slow ass wind attack. It's like this slow ass uppercut attack.
It's close ranged.
It just isn't very practical.
It just doesn't encounter a lot of things that other weapons don't already counter. Or just, why are you using this other than even trying to fight I burn Dino Rex with it is a pain.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, don't do that.
Just maybe do yourself a favor and don't use this weapon because it is awful.
Ground dash.
Also awful.
Ground dash. Oh no.
It's an extremely slow-moving ball projectile.
Oh, and the slightly pushes you forward
when you use it. Which is utterly bizarre. Why is it a dash? That makes it worse, arguably.
And then you charge it. It goes. It's an instant shot.
Wow.
Yeah, don't use this. Ice burst. Ice Burst.
Yep.
Wizard Wolfang's weapon.
What does this do?
You spawn a platform. You spawn an ice platform. Or when charged, you can urge you release. You shoot icicles when you're dashing. The problem is you need this to finish the game.
Yep.
If you're playing as X. X for some because of course you do.
Which, to be fair, I guess is probably more of a testament to X6's his level design than it is about this weapon. But still,
you're not gonna be using that.
You're never gonna use it outside of that.
You're fucking forced to use this. It's either that or you use zero for the for it.
Or bring a specific armor.
Or yeah, bring the shadow armor. So next up would be the metal anchor.
Oh boy!
It's slow. It's a slow bouncing projectile.
It's not good.
It's a slow bouncing projectile. That just doesn't fucking work. Also, it's when charged, it's a screen nuke. However, it's canceled upon taking damage.
Why?
It gets canceled upon taking a hit.
That is terrible.
Upon taking damage, the attack is canceled out.
Who the fuck designed this weapon?
And next up is the guard shell. It can reflect projectiles. It can shoot projectiles back.
It's not very good at it.
Yeah, it's not. All right, now that's all of X6's weapons. That's X6's weapons in here. Oh no, X7.
Oh boy.
Oh no, X7's weapons. Oh no. The Gaia shield. It's a big shield that doesn't fucking work.
Yeah.
That barely does anything, and you can throw it. When charged.
Can you throw it? No idea.
Moving wheel. It's spin wheel.
Why is it spin wheel?
But guess what? It doesn't work.
Yep.
It doesn't work. And also,
did I mention most of these weapons are completely useless in 3D?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they are. Wind cutter. Shoots a boomerang that comes back if it doesn't hit anything. Or it fires homing shots.
And they deal pathetic damage.
Their output is fucking pathetic.
To the point where you have to spam it several times to kill a weak enemy.
Yeah, fun. Explosion sends a slow but powerful energy blast forward. Isn't that it? That description says it all.
It is slow, and you're not hitting anything with
it. Also, that's such a fucking generic ass name.
Explosion?
Just explosion.
That is the most boring name.
Explosion.
They could have given it.
Explosion. And yeah, no surprise. Most of X7's weapons are fucking terrible.
Oh, because it's a terrible game.
Now on X8's weapons, and the ones in here include Crystal Wall.
This is completely useless for combat. You only use it to find rare metals.
That's it.
Was it for most of them? They're not even in difficult to get spots. Just know where to use this weapon.
And charge crystal wall. Charge crystal wall, and then and boom, there it is. There's a lot of the collecting a lot of shit. That's how you collect most thing, like a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
And also, yeah, you better remember that you have you bring X with you. For that. Then there's got the shining ray. The shining ray. It's like it's fucking firework. It's a firework.
Yay! How fun! How festive!
But no, it sucks. It just splits off and just like go to like hitting things with it.
It only goes directly above you.
Yeah. Oh, but charge, you can fire multiple all of them.
So none of them are. It doesn't make it better.
This is Sigma's weakness, by the way.
More of a bad thing doesn't make it good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sucks. And then there's the squeeze bomb. Why is it called that?
I hate that name.
Yep, it can expand. Yep, it absorbs any solid projectiles. Also, when charged, it neutralizes all attacks and doesn't do any damage.
It is
Useless.
Extremely useless and extremely. What is this?
All right, next up is C tier.
There were these weapons. They just exist.
So there's the strike chain. It has its uses.
It is granted they're usually just getting stuff without armor upgrades.
Mainly getting the arm part without the foot part.
Mm-hmm.
Which trust me, I advise. As it cuts down on backtracking. And it also can grab items as well.
Yeah.
Spin wheel, mainly just used for collecting in stuff. In a ton of things.
But it does do a lot of damage to things that are weak to it.
Also, just has this split. It just splits all. You just fire it off as a projectile.
Yeah.
When charged.
Which is somewhat useful.
Crystal Hunter. You freeze enemy.
You can turn them into projectiles.
Turn them into
platforms.
Which is, yeah. I mean, it has its uses. But also charged, it slows time. It slows down time.
It's better than a lot of classic series freezing weapons.
Yeah, right. Gravity well. I don't know.
What does this do?
How did this escape D again?
It shouldn't have.
I mean, you need it for a cat. You need it for.
I guess you need it for something, so it's not in D tier.
But it's pretty useless. Let's see. It can destroy enemies.
I guess,
but I guess that's
you have way better options for
it. But I guess needing it, you needing it is what
you need it to get one of the.
You need to get the body, the third armor's body part.
You can't get the body part without it.
Flash laser. From Shiny Firefly.
It's Gemini laser, basically.
No, it's like, you remember this one you ate. You try and it's really slow and
all right.
you gotta aim the Firefly in the direction.
You could aim it and it can like target things in weird spots. If they're behind or over walls.
And you also need it to get an armor part.
Because
our said part is really annoying to get. Due to the
tight corridor you have to navigate this thing through.
Then the spike ball. The spike ball.
Oh my god, the fucking spike
Let's
ball.
see. You shoot this ball forward.
Wow.
And when charged, it bounces around. Also, this is the final boss weakness.
Yeah.
The
Which is this? The
spike ball from Spike Rose Red.
Oh, right.
It's a
It's a weird weapon.
Magma Blade. Why aren't you using the? Why are you using this?
I guess if you wanted X to swing a sword.
But he already has. You already
Z-Saber.
have the Z Saber. Why are you?
It's technically the Z-Saber.
But it like shoots.
It shoots a projectile.
Shoots 2 projectiles.
It should have been a direct saber upgrade.
And yeah, why are you using this? Also, its charge effect is 8 fireballs fly across the screen at random direction and forward. Great.
Rant RNG.
Yay. The meteor rain. The meteor rain. It's this small ass bubble. This small ass bubble that you fire right in front of you, and it can bounce off a wall.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, and then and if you charge it, it sends balls down onward, and rainbow water balls. 12 balls brain down onward or from random possessions.
Brain downward.
Right, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Seriously, most of these charge effects are just random directions.
Yeah.
And the ray arrow.
It's an arrow.
Yeah, beam shot straight forward, hits it's an object, it turns 90 degrees if ease and goes up, down is pressed, it goes downward instead. If I beam shoot up from the bottom, at them. I don't know, maybe it's its charge effect, maybe it's the charge effect that saves it.
Yeah, probably.
Volt Tornado. Volt Tornado. From Tornado fucking Tunyon.
Yeah.
Tornado, yeah, from Tornado. Again, not very useful. Not that useful. What vortex of electricity around X moves forward after a few seconds. Surrounded by an electric field that generates energy pickups when enemies make contact with it.
Yay. I mean, it has a use.
Mm-hmm. Splash laser. There's probably only one reason this is here.
Because it completely cheeses Sigma for some reason.
It just destroys Sigma Phase 2. Somehow.
Like, it just breaks that fight.
That's it. Because it's a rapid fire attack.
Yep.
Circle Blaze. Sends a fireball that causes an explosion upon impact. Sends a fireball that causes multiple explosions upon impact.
It's fire.
It's fire. Sniper Missile. Launches a homing missile that can pierce enemies and only explodes when it hits an obstacle.
Wow.
3 homing missiles.
Wow.
X7 has some very shitty weapons.
All bad or just underwhelming.
Yeah. All right, next is Thunder Dancer. What is this?
Is this
it's like a taser.
Is Gigavolt Manowar's weapon?
Gigavolt Manowar.
Gigavolt Manowar.
Yep, it's Gigavolt Manowar.
Yeah, this can chain through multiple enemies, which is theoretically useful when taking out crowds.
I
think it just takes too long to wind up.
Yeah, it takes too long.
That's a common thing in X8. X takes way too long to use anything.
All right, Melt Creeper shoots a line forward, so it's like Water Wave.
Yeah.
It shoots out two lines of flames instead, and the charged effect is shooting out two of them.
The charge effect is somewhat good.
Melt Creeper. What kind of name is that?
Terrible name for a weapon, though.
Melt Creeper.
What the fuck do you mean Melt Creeper?
From Burn Rooster's weapon. And yeah, and then there's a green spinner, I think. What are these weapon names? It's a rocket.
This is Bamboo Pandemonium.
Yeah, explodes upon contact and used to break enemy barriers.
Break shield. It's X's anti-shield option.
But so is a fully charged shot. But so is a charged shot.
Yeah.
But so is the charged shot.
Yeah, it's an anti-shield option in the form of a special weapon.
Yay!
And I guess it nukes.
Yeah.
It could deal massive damage or something. So I guess it
technically can shoot 4 missiles when charged.
It's theoretically useful against bigger enemies.
Yeah.
A lot of the C tiers are theoretically useful if you find in the right situation for it.
All right, B tier.
These are actually somewhat good.
Boomerang cutter. It's a rolling cutter. It can grab items. Is out of reach.
So yeah, it's a rolling cutter combined with ring boomerang.
Yeah. Homing torpedo. Sorry, that's a typo in the game. Homing torpedo. Homing torpedo. It's what dive missile wanted to be.
It's what dive missile was trying to be.
And it's just even stronger when you charge it. All right. Boomerang cutter also. It just surrounds you with 4 or larger cutters.
Or when you charge it.
The speed burner. Okay, mainly its charged urge function. Mainly it has its charged function.
Yeah. And which is
you can do an air dash.
Do an extra dash.
So you can chain this with an air dash. As well.
You get insane distance.
I mean, you kind of need it to get the Shoryuken. You need to do that for the Shoryuken.
And this is the main function of the weapon. It kind of sucks when used uncharged. So, despite having a really good charge function, it's not higher than B tier because the uncharged version sucks.
Yeah. Sonic Slicer can... it's also mainly the charged effect. The charged version.
Yeah,
it just shoots a bunch of thing.
It's like a flurry of shots.
It shoots them. It's like 4 shots upwards, or does a lot of damage.
Down and shred anything and they touch.
This is how you beat Sergei.
Yeah.
You stand there and just use Sonic Slicer. You just stand. Yeah. Bubble Splash. Bubble Splash is. Bubble Splash is. That's just what happened. Bubble Splash is also, again, not that. It's like a rapid fire air attack with really short range, but.
It becomes a shield when charged.
Yeah. Okay, most of the other weapons.
Most of the weapons in B tier are.
Most of the ones in X2's weapons are kind of
shitty, and then they become better when they're charged.
Remote mine. No. Magnet mine.
Magnet mine. High remote mine is Pirate Man's weapon.
And no, this one is it's similar function, only you can't similar movement, but you can't. But you can't be detonated on command.
It detonates when it comes into contact with something.
And yeah. 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 And when charged, a black hole is on the way. Each is controlled in the same way, but it can go through walls. Also get bigger in size. Eyes.
As
As if it absorbs enough of shit.
Yep.
And yeah. Then there's a silk shot. Which is,
It's like Dust Crusher, but better. You can charge it to uproot hidden items from the ground.
on certain spots.
There's a really cool utility.
So you can fill. You can get a bunch of lives, or fill. I have to just fill your sub tanks.
Yep.
Rising fire. Good for enemies above you, and when charged is, and when charged, you do the Shoryuken.
Yep. So that's a pretty cool touch.
Lightning Web has a lot of interesting uses. As like can be used for it has a lot of interesting applications.
Yeah.
And it's like since you can wall jump off of it. Use it as an extra a wall.
Well, so that's really cool.
Well, then there's the drift diamond.
And from X8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the one from Avalanche Yeti. He shoots two snowflake.
They go diagonally forward, or sort of like the twin slasher, and they freeze on contact.
And then you
kill things.
Fires a snow barrier surrounds X and enemies that try and damage him. Frozen it dissipates after taking enough damage.
So it's actually a functional shield.
Oh yeah.
When charged.
And then the Shadow Runner, I think. I think it's a boomerang that can home on targets.
It's basically a homing shot for X.
Shoots 5 boomerangs. Aids at homing on targets. That's all right. 8 here. Are the really good.
The great weapons.
And shotgun yeah, shotgun ice can as mentioned. As mentioned before, can shotgun ice as mentioned before can or can
or splits off into multiple segments when
it's when hitting a wall.
That's when hitting a wall. So or you get an extra chance to hit enemies if your initial shot. This Freeze Cracker, I believe, was S tier.
A.
Freeze Cracker was A tier, so are on the classic list. So Shotgun Ice gets A tier in the X list.
Fire Wave,
just as useful.
Fire Wave is.
It was a close range, but really it was an extremely high power attack. That just shoots wave of fire. And when charged, it shoots
bigger wave.
Shoots a bigger wave of fire that travels along the ground, out incinerating everything in its path.
Very helpful for taking out the steamroller.
Yeah, you can use it to kill the steamroller and get the heart tank. Make an armadillo stage much easier.
Yeah. Or the electric spark can go. Or when fired can. Electric spark. Electric spark can shoot spheres that dissipate upon contact with enemies. If it hits a wall, it splits into two, then charges. Then two charges run along the wall.
So it's sort of like Thunderbolt combined with Plug Ball.
Except this one came first.
This came first before either of those.
And when charged, 2 walls of energy are only behind and in front of X.
It doesn't get as high tier your Thunderbolt does because as well. Was Plug Ball S tier?
Yeah, Plug Ball was.
It doesn't get as high as Thunderbolt or Plug Ball because, well, it's just not as useful in the context of X1 as it is in those other games. And since X1 just generally has a much better set of weapons.
Yeah. Chameleon. Yeah.
7 does.
Chameleon Sting can. Chameleon Sting is. chameleon staying fire. Well, it's mainly the charged effect. It's mainly the charged
Charge
effect.
effect, which turns you invincible and lets you walk through enemies.
You know, is oh.
Vinny, stop headbutting
Stop it! Come here.
in the TV tray. You're gonna knock that over.
Stop it! Go away.
What are you doing?
So then there's a tornado fang, which can it's the
Okay, just ignore him.
okay what tornado fang can
It drills into enemy. He's dealing constant damage to them, and it's used to break a ton of secret walls.
You need this for getting just to get a lot
stuff.
of
So this is why Tunnel Rhino is recommended to be taken on first.
Frost Shield. Frost Shield has a few uses. Mainly, I think when using it, there's a high likelihood enemies will drop health.
Oh, yeah.
Health, and it's when charged, it is used as a shield, or when underwater, it can be used.
It can be turned into a platform that floats to the surface of the water and lets you jump across it.
And mainly, so you can get it's also how you can get the kangaroo armor without needing in the ride armor.
Mm-hmm.
Or you have to do any of that you have to skip across water, a bunch of the water to get it.
It's a lot easier with the shield.
Mm-hmm. Parasitic bomb when fired at an enemy, when fired at an enemy, it just stuns them and then they explode.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but when charged, it's Hornet Chaser, but there's 4 of them.
Yep. So that is really cool. Does it grab items?
No, it doesn't grab items.
It doesn't grab items, but it homes in on anything on screen.
And Acid Burst is pretty. Acid Burst is basically what I think basically what saltwater is.
It's from Mega Man World 5.
Ivan, you can fight. But I've accepted. Splashes on contact. 2 bursts are shot, but they bounce across multiple times along the floor.
Yeah. When charged, it shoots 2 bursts that bounce on the floor until they hit an enemy. Allowing them to stay around and increasing the likelihood that they hit something.
Triad Thunder is basically is kind of a kind of shield. Is a barrier that can
that creates a triangle around you. One zaps everything surrounding you, as well as shooting off thunderbolts in 3 directions.
And when charged, it's the slam attack.
That kills all grounded enemies. He's and can break certain destructible floors.
Spinning blade is pretty effective. While taking out enemies around you, you can't reach.
And it goes behind you after you launch it off. It's great for back support.
Frost Tower can also just do residual damage
over time as it sits there, and of course can be used as a platform.
Not on the platform.
Can we use as a platform? This one can't.
No. But yeah, it's mainly for like a bunch of like it can just take it just anything that touches it it is destroyed.
So it's like just a circle of death that sits there.
Yeah. Ground Hunter is Search Snake.
So yeah.
Soul Body. You can create a copy of yourself. And a copy that can basically you take damage for you.
Mm-hmm. And can also fire a shot when you do.
Twin Cyclone can go pretty far. It shoots from on both sides. And when charged, or just a massive spread attack on both
sides. Alright, this thing is really good for crowd control.
Crescent Shot is like a quick boomerang, but when charged can be used as a shield.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Then there's
the Goo Shaver,
which is also just Search Snake.
Yeah, that's right. This
It
right.
spreads along a wall.
Right. Yeah, that's a Tidal Whale's weapon.
And what's this one's charge? Isn't it blocks?
Yes, just shoot a bunch of ice blocks.
That fall from the sky.
Yeah.
So it's basically what inspired the block dropper.
Yeah.
Later on.
Then there's a Burn Dino Rex's weapon. In the ground fire, shoots a fireball, although it shoots 3 small embers around directions, and shoots large fire waves, and it's basically charged. It's basically Twin Cyclone, when charged.
Which, of course, is a really good weapon.
And the only weapon in
X6 to get higher than B tier than C tier
is the Yamar option.
Yeah, the Yamar option. And you have 3 dragonflies circling around you, and they fire a shot whenever you fire a shot. So
and when charged, they become they're more durable.
The shots do more damage too.
Pretty sure they do more damage too.
Yeah, they're more durable and do more damage. So you basically just have 3 drones flying around you, increasing your firepower and defensive capabilities. It's just really good.
But then there's
there are the S tier weapons, the best weapons in the X series, in Noah's opinion.
Yeah, Storm Tornado. I don't think I need to say any more.
It's just you fire directly forward, and it breaks things.
And you have a lot of use for it.
It literally every mini boss in the game can be destroyed by Storm Tornado near effortlessly. Because it ignores invincibility frames and hits like dozens of times per second.
And its charge attack, its charge effect surrounds you with is a vertical.
There's a vertical version of the attack.
The rolling shield. Rolling shield can
uncharged fires or a lob projectile that hurts enemies on contact. When charged, it's a barrier or that'll stick around
and protect you from weaker enemies
and destroy weaker enemies on contact. It's basically Jewel Satellite.
Yeah.
And of course, Jewel Satellite is an S tier weapon.
And Ray Splasher. This is actually it's a rapid fire weapon.
And that shoots off rays forward.
It's actually pretty good considering X3's charge shot is
kind of scuffed.
X3's charge shot kind of sucks. X and this one is it's pretty good. Using it is pretty good. It's just fun to use. Its charged effect is actually shoot a bunch of it just shoots a bunch of there's a small ball that will continually spray all bolts of energy in all directions. And Twin Slasher well, it's I think as mentioned, it's a strong rapid fire. It's a strong attack that fires both there's both diagonal all directions. And well, it just as far it's it could just be spam too.
Because it has a lot of ammo, like Quick Boomerang.
And then aiming laser. Aiming laser can be a really fun one.
On any enemies targeted by the reticle will be attacked and you should press the fire button. And one charge doesn't have like a residual laser.
Yeah, I think it does.
That follows around enemies.
Constant laser is fired directly in front of it.
Oh, okay, it can be moved up and down.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a really good weapon. And Tri Thunder. It's Thunder Beam. But I think also combined with Electric Spark.
So it passes by walls when it
passes up walls.
Oh, and charged.
Or just a bunch. It fires a bunch of lightning bolts.
It's just an incredible weapon. And the final weapon for the X's tier list.
Darkhold. It's Time Stopper.
but you could turn it on and off at will.
Well, no, more like you can actually you can actually use you can actually charge your buster with it.
Mm-hmm.
Since it doesn't actually have a charge effect.
Yeah, right.
It doesn't have a charge version.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Darkhold can be pretty helpful. Especially in Virus Stage 1.
So he's basically like Flash Stopper, but even better.
Mm-hmm.
Man, these these weapons that spawned for Time Stopper. Talk about a glow up.
I know. So yeah, that's all with X's weapons. And now I guess we can also
talk about X's armors. Now in the
That-
bottom of this, we have the no armor tier because, well,
Of
yeah.
course, we have no armor. D tier, Gaia armor.
It's a tanky armor.
It's really slow. And is not worth. And isn't really worth the extra damage. It can walk on spikes.
Does it prevent you from charging weapons?
You can't use weapons.
You can't use weapons with it.
And there's no. And there's not unlike the shadow armor, it doesn't do anything to make up. Doesn't help. It's not helpful to. It doesn't.
It doesn't do anything good to make up for it.
Yeah, you can cling to walls, climb ladders. Damn, I didn't know the step booster was in this this thing. Also, the head part has literally no function.
Yeah.
Literally no stated function.
It's just required to complete the armor.
The glide armor.
It is like the most boring armor
Let's
ever.
see. You get this glide that's not even animated. I think a charge shot that like draws in
An item pickups, I guess.
I think of the head part increases charge speed. I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a. It also looks really dumb.
Yeah.
B is the B. We have the first armor. It's pretty basic and also has the head part.
Yeah.
Which you use like twice.
Twice to get collectibles.
Once. I mean, it can also like protect you from falling rocks and Sting Chameleon stage.
Oh yeah, that's such a niche use.
Yeah, I know. It's basically the same. The one and the extreme version is basically the same, except the foot part is just a set dash off walls.
Yay.
Because of hardware limitations. And then there's also the Icarus armor. It does have some really interesting part. It's like the high, like being able to jump higher and
recovering all your health, right?
I think that's
that's the other armor.
Yeah, that's the other armor.
Okay.
Or it has this laser or charge shot. It just has a pretty strong buster.
They're all good, but nothing that makes it stand out a ton.
Then in A tier, there's the second armor. A tier has the second armor, which has some pretty solid ones.
Well, just a straight upgrade to the first armor.
Even if the Giga Crush and the fucking tracker
or the crazy buster you get from it in the air.
The spiral. I think it's called Spiral Crush's first armor. It's you can fire two massive charge shots.
The crazy charge shot upgrade and the air dash more of a makeup for that.
I mean, this is the one that introduced the air dash.
It's introduced the air dash.
The third armor is you can air dash upwards. It's the head part is used to show you what items are is a radar that shows you what items you found on each stage, though in the map shows up when you start the level. But it's it doesn't help. It's not, but it doesn't. But that part's not too helpful.
Because you can't. Yeah, and check it again.
And you know there's a button that goes completely unused on using the X. You know the X button goes like completely unused.
You could have just had that be a mini map.
Pull up the map.
Yeah.
And also you can also you can air dash upwards. Okay, the body has a creates again reduces damage.
And the Buster.
Yeah.
This is what keeps it out of S tier.
The Buster kind of sucks. It's this large spread attack that also just chugs the game.
Mm-hmm.
It also, it's really, it causes frame rate frame rate issues.
Now it looks cool, but it's not really super practical.
Now if we were officially the third armor's Buster is not very good.
Really?
What?
But there are. But if we were talking about the
Zero Project, which is a much faster, which is a
better optimized version in X3 that also rebalances some things.
The
third armor would be an easy S tier. We're talking about that version of the game.
But we're talking specifically official games.
So yeah, it doesn't. It stays in A tier.
And the armor in Extreme 2 is a weird hybrid of both.
So I suppose if it's a hybrid of two A tier armors, it's kind of automatically an A tier armor.
The Falcon armor, you can fly.
That is amazing.
But
aside from that,
you can't charge weapons for some reason, and you also don't have a standard air dash. Ash, and the Buster is pretty weak.
Yeah. It's just the fight. That is insanely good, but none of the other things are impressive.
Shadow armor, or is the Gaia armor, but
way better.
Or it's a faster really fast Z saber, or you can it's a fast you get a faster Z saber. The charge shot is a Z saber. Is a pretty.
There's a powerful saber slash.
Ash the Buster normal shot is just a. The normal shot is
that's a shuriken.
Or some rapid fire
shurikens.
You can jump. You can stick to the walls.
Walls and ceilings, and you're immune to spikes. That's what you can also stick to.
Yeah, it's a pretty useful armor.
It makes up for the fact or not being able to use weapons this time around.
And I can help with a lot of X6's stupid level design.
Alright. If this could use weapons, it'd be an easy S tier.
Or the Hermes armor.
Or the other X8 armor.
The other X8 armor mainly it has I think mainly you have that instant recovery.
Mm-hmm.
I think it recharges. I think it recharges faster.
Mm-hmm.
Or it also has its Buster shot. Its charge shot is on his a split attack. That fires 3 Busters.
Thankfully, it's a lot. It doesn't impact the performance like the X3 one does.
It also has the foot part is.
What does it do?
Yeah, remember it's the one that makes you invisible.
The foot part doesn't really help.
Oh, you're not actually invincible.
You just can't see your character. It literally just makes you fight it harder.
Maybe that was supposed to be it was supposed to function.
It was probably meant to make you invincible while you dash, but they couldn't figure out a way to do it. I guess.
I guess. Hermes armor is just a more solid version.
Yeah, it's just a more it's just the more solid X8 armor. And then we move on to both of the S tier armors.
There's the fourth armor. Holy shit! It's the fourth armor.
This thing is cracked.
Let's see. You got Vapor, the plasma shot,
which sticks around and continuously damages enemies after you shoot them.
Or in X4, you can use these. You use the one where you store or your charged shots.
I mean, I'm sure that has its uses, but plasma shot, come on.
And also the fact that this is just the default It's the default.
The plasma shot's the default too, so like the other one's just like kind of a bonus option.
There's
I wonder if they were planning to have multiple or two armors in X4, and that's the only remnant of it.
I don't know, maybe. Even so, the thing is, but okay. Then there's also like the head part, which in X4 can reduces or makes it so you have infinite weapon usage unless you charge them.
That is completely insane.
Ain't it?
An infinite store of cyclones,
Infinite twin
so
cyclone.
cyclone and aiming laser.
Or the head the one X4, or it's just simply you use you have more you have less you use less energy.
The X5, you mean?
X5, yeah.
And X5, you just use less energy because the original was admittedly extremely broken.
The Nova Strike, well,
It's your Giga attack, and
it pushes you, it propels you forward.
it does do a lot of damage when you use it.
But yeah, it's nothing really to say about like this Nova Strike.
So, and the other S2 armor,
The blade armor, holy shit!
the blade armor from X6.
You have the Mach dash, which you can dash in 4 directions. Yeah, it's a direct upgrade from like from X3. Is foot part. All right, you also have the Buster is similar to the chart to the plasma shot as well. You also have this chart or saber attack. I think if you press upward up. It's pretty strong. And the Giga attack is pretty good too.
Yeah.
It was like yeah, it's just a really good armor. And
and the tier above S, Ultimate, because we weren't gonna. It's kind of unfair to compare the Ultimate armor to any other horse, considering it literally is designed to be overpowered.
So the thing is, in X5 you can get at this. It's like right at the end of the game, and X8 it's a new game plus bonus if you maxed out X's. Actually, a fully upgraded X.
And X is 4 and 6.
X it's only through a cheat code.
And it breaks those games.
But so the thing is, it has the Nova Strike.
But you have infinite uses of it.
That's the main selling point.
Or infinite Nova Strike. Which can be used to shred absolutely everything and soar over or any obstacle.
Yeah, the thing is that I'll admit that's how I used to play X6 all the time.
And it is definitely the most fun way to play X6.
It's just break it.
It's just break an already broken game.
So all right, that's not right. But that was just a list I remembered I had, and it's like we could throw in.
And anyways, back to what we plan to do today.
As a bit of a transit
into Zero's techniques in X's 4 through 8.
So Zero's weaponry. This shouldn't
take as long because a lot of these techniques are reused from game to game.
Yeah, like a lot, nearly.
Most of them are reused from game to
game. So his techniques. So all right, let's see. In the bottom. Oh no.
Oh boy, bottom tier.
Oh no.
Let's see.
In bottom tier we have. We have the Shipuka, our hurricane thing. It's this dash attack. It's this dash attack.
Well, lets you swing the saber fast.
It's not useful.
You use it once per dash, and it stops you in your tracks when you use it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so awkward to use and doesn't really have a practical function.
Mm-hmm. And right next to that is the wind shredder, which is it's the same thing.
Yep.
But you create a clone.
Only to do it for you, or when you do it,
Yeah.
which extends the reach of it, but it doesn't help that this is such a niche ability.
It's also an awkward input.
And the input is so difficult
You
to pull
dash
off.
and then press the button, and then press the special button.
And with specific timing, you can't do it while you're after you stop dashing.
And yeah, not very useful.
And so you have to know exactly how long the dash takes to do.
Oh God, what happened here? So Zero's techniques in X6.
Oh boy.
It's the ones that are in this tier. Well, you got the fucking whirling crash slash.
It's also known as the Sensuizan.
Oh fuck me! If anyone who's played X6 knows the problem.
The input,
you press up and the attack button.
The input is up and attack. It sends you downwards, even in midair.
So say you're trying to fight enemies above the pit,
and you instinctively press up and attack to attack upwards. You just slam to the ground and fall. You just slam down and fall into the pit. Because of a poorly mapped input.
Oh no! What the? And then there's
on its own, it might be like maybe a B tier weapon if it wasn't for the horrible input for it.
Zero. Then guard shell. It's the same with X.
So
though I know this is like used to like I know this is used for like fucking some crazy techniques.
It's just still like not particularly good. But outside of exploits.
Oh no!
Well. Most of Zero's X7 techniques.
They fucking suck. They suck.
Oh boy.
All right. First we got the
Suiretsu-san.
Or Water Fury Flash. It's thrust attack, forward thrust. It's really slow.
Oh. Yep.
Oh, and just not practical.
Which one is it?
Next up
is the
Baku Engine.
The Baku Engine.
And Bursting Flame Array. It's the Giga Attack.
Yeah, it's a big explosion.
But it's like so slow. Oh, you do like right next to your next to a bunch of enemies to use it.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike literally all of Zero's other Giga Attacks. Hold on.
The Zankurin. The Zakurin.
And slashing light ring. It's the moving wheel.
Oh, just with a different name.
Also, you need an extra input to do it. It sucks.
Yeah.
It's just like the other weapon. Heijin.
The Heijin.
And Flying Shadow Blade. No.
Just no.
Then there's the Swinbu. Swinbu. Twin Swallow Dance. So you can throw them like with the boomerang like weapon. It can be used to cheat Sigma phase 1.
I guess.
But that's probably I don't think that was intentional.
He suffers from serious spark mandrel syndrome there.
Then there's the Raijin show.
Raijin show.
The other Raijin Rise.
Is that just what it's called?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, Zero's uppercut, but it's really slow, and you need to press the dash and special button to do it.
Really weird input for it.
Or it's just. No, it orders that. Wrong weapon.
Wrong weapon.
No, it's the Hadangeki.
Hadangeki.
It's for the heavy overhead slash that sends out a wave of energy.
Oh wow.
Wow, that's
Raijin Show is actually a B tier. We'll get to that. The icons for them look like nearly identical.
Yeah, they are because they basically are.
They're just the icon. They're just mirrored. Or vertically.
And the weapon And the one technique you can X8
That's in D tier is the Juhazan.
Juhazan. On heavy wave slash. It's a slash attack.
Certainly heavy, certainly a wave motion.
And it's not practical.
Not even close to practical.
And then oh lord. Then there then in C tier I guess they have their use.
All right, which one we starting with?
Raijin Geki.
Raijin Geki.
It's a really slow attack.
But it has range, so you don't have to get close to things to use it.
But yeah, it's a very slow move.
Yeah, not particularly useful.
Same
Then
goes
there's
for
Zero's downer cut, the Hyure Etsuzan.
an Ice Fury slash.
Etsuzan, yeah.
It's a thrust attack.
Yep.
Yay.
It's a thrust attack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is where the where X's down attack would have went.
Mm-hmm.
Zero's down technique would have went from X6 if it were usable.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's somehow even worse.
Yeah.
Then I think next would be his Giga attack.
Which is the Rakuhoha.
Falling Fang Crush. It's a Giga attack. Yeah, that's it. It's a Giga attack.
Yep. It fires or bursts of energy out from where you currently are.
And yeah, there's
next from X5 is the Shredder. Is it W Shredder?
This one.
No, what's that one? Or is it the bottom one? Is it Quake Blazer?
Quake
Blazer.
Yeah, Quake Blazer.
Other side.
It's again Zero's down thrust.
Which is, well, as we said, it's a C tier ability.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to be using it that often.
Then there. Then
we get into his some exit. Let me see which one.
Actually, a technique, the encoding.
The enco. Let me see which one.
This one.
That one. The encoding.
It's
known as
the Blaze Drop Blade.
Yeah.
It's from Burn Rooster.
Mm-hmm.
Or again, yeah, it's just not very
useful. It's the down thrust.
And then there's also, and in addition to that, there's the Tenshoha.
The Tenshoha reference to
or the Heaven Shine rule.
Yeah.
Or from Optic Sunflower.
Mm-hmm. It's yours Giga attack in this game.
Yeah.
All right, B tier.
B tier. B tier. B tier actually has the C Flasher.
C Flasher, which is the
Giga attack.
Giga attack for Zero in X5.
I think you just get more use out of it.
I get to use it more often.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get to use it more often.
That's basically the difference as to why it's a higher tier. The Hyoroga.
It's Zero's high jump, and you can shoot icicles.
Pulls downwards when you use it. You can say the English name.
The Falling Steel Blade.
The Rakukojin.
And it's Zero's thrust. One of Zero's thrust attacks that spawns an anchor upon on hitting the ground.
All right. Yeah. And now we get to the other two X7 techniques.
That somehow escape.
Starting with the Goku Monken.
Goku Monken. It's the Prison Gate sword. It for some reason does a lot of damage.
As if you just sit there, it's a counter attack, but it just damages things that come into contact.
You see what it fucking does to Tornado Tunyon.
Yeah, it doesn't work the way it's intended to, I assume, but it does. It is extremely effective for what it is.
And yeah, as I mentioned,
as we mentioned, the Raijin show. which is a dash attack that lets you destroy things around and above you.
Yeah. Then there, and then we have the right Ikosen.
Raikosen, the lightning flash.
It's a dash attack. It's an air dash attack. That just leaves a trail of lightning and
Behind you.
to stun enemies.
And the other X8 in the last B tier is
The last beat here is the
the Yodan Otsu.
or leaf severing
Yodan
thrust.
Otsu.
So, yeah, the leaf severing thrust. It's a dash attack.
Like that thrust forward.
Yeah. A tier is rising fire.
Literally just X's weapon from X4.
Or can cover a lot. Yeah, I can.
Doesn't even have a different name.
What? Right? No, Ryu engine.
Ryu engine.
And yeah. And yeah, it's yeah.
Is that just Rising Fire in Japanese?
Ryu engine?
What is it called with Zero? Is it still just Rising Fire?
Dragon Flame Blade. Yeah, upward, leaping upward slat. Ashen has a fixed height.
Yeah.
You can't cancel it on the however.
Or so do make sure you actually want to use this before you do use it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, common sense.
And there's the
The Hienkyaku.
flying swallow. It's the air dash. Yes. One of
A tier air dash.
It's an air dash.
It's useful.
And the twin dream is a soul body, but twin dream is soul body, but you can attack. But your clone can attack.
It's like an extension of yourself when
Yeah.
and it moves with you, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yamara option is here. Yamara option is here for.
For Zero as well.
Except it just requires a different input. Then the Shoenzon.
Shoenzon.
On Soaring Flame Mountain. It's just a grounded Ryu engine.
And that has and that goes like twice Zero's height.
Right, and then there's the his Giga, and then there's his
Giga Attack, the Rekoha.
rending in light rule. It's up. Yeah, again, I think this just has a lot of. It covers a ton of. It has a lot of range.
Mm-hmm.
And Ancient has you actually used it in a bit.
Yeah.
And then I think
from X8.
It is the
Hyoryu show.
Ice Dragon Rise. Rise from Avalanche Yeti. It can freeze enemies. It is when hit.
And now we get into the S tier, which is actually the second largest tier. You're behind D.
Mainly because most of Zero's X7 techniques are fucking terrible.
Mm-hmm. We weren't talking about X7 and Zero and S would be the largest.
Then there's the Kuenbu and Kuenzan.
Kuenzan, which are the
air waltz, and air circling slash. But they're both from split motion. Yeah, I see.
They're both, it's twins.
Yeah, because twins, you get two techniques.
One of which being the double jump, and the other being the spinning slash. And
but
both are S tier. They're both insanely good.
What
abilities? Thankfully, because they have the exact same icon, it's impossible to tell them apart on the tier list.
Yeah, the Tenkuha are Ether Rule.
Tenkuha, right?
Yeah, it's a Zero. It's a permanent upgrade into the saber,
which is just really good.
But you can destroy projectiles with it. Yeah, it's purple. Yep, it catches on purple.
Yep, right.
The Crescent Slash, it's Kuenbu, but with even more range.
Yup.
But you have an even larger hitbox.
It's the Sea Sword.
Crescent Sword.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's real. It has even more range.
Range now.
Oh. Oh, the and same and electric blade
It's an even better uppercut attack.
because you can actually cancel it.
So you don't have to worry about screwing yourself over with it.
Or
Unless you're right below a ceiling or
the
spikes or something.
flying water sword or F splasher,
Or
or it's a
it's a damaging air dash, right?
yeah. That's no, yeah, no, that's good.
Isn't just a direct upgrade to your air dash?
Yep.
Yeah, it makes your air dash
Yeah, it's
kill small enemies.
Yeah, it's a permanent yeah, it's just yeah, it's just a permanent.
Which is just extremely helpful.
Oh, and Dark Hold is the exact same.
Aim still S tier on 0, of course.
And well, the only technique
From X8 to
X7,
X6
X6
to get in here is the N-Suizan, which is, well, of course, the spinning attack. Zero's best move in general.
Oh, then X8's weapon.
And so we start with
The oh yeah,
let me see. It's the Rekiodan.
or Violent Mirror Sever. It's a permanent upgrade. It lets Zero reflect projectiles.
All's with his slashes.
And of course
And
there's
finally, the Urasetsusen,
and a swirling temple whirl,
which is once again the spin slash.
yeah, yeah. See, I mean, Zero's techniques are mostly the same.
And he usually has an uppercut and a spins, and he always has an uppercut and a spin, and it's usually a down thrust of some kind, kind of direct saber upgrade.
Yeah.
A lot in common, so it's like a lot faster to go through Zeros.
Oh, what? 3 wasn't enough?
4. Well, this is the smallest one, to be fair. Axel's weapons in X8 only because he didn't have unique weapons in X7 and just had X's.
Yeah, yeah, they were literally the same weapons as X.
But they are actually different in this game. And starting in C tier
Is the plasma gun.
Plasma gun.
It's
It's a short,
very short ranged.
Ranged blast of electricity.
But yeah, it's
like
a short range taser.
It's like, I guess it can do damage, but like the other weapons are so good. No real reason to use them like that. Alright, which one's the boomerang? What's that equivalent to?
Boomerang is equivalent to that's a Shadow Runner.
Okay, so
The Black Arrow.
Black Arrow from Dark Mantis still, of course.
Yeah, I can find. Yeah, it's on homing targets. And then there's instead the equivalent to sweet. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, and
Even they hurt enemies even when stuck to walls.
Also, that's really cool.
Gravity and tone.
Gives Axel the Spiral Magnum.
Which powerful bullets that can pierce any surface and shoot through walls.
Also, that's real. Of course, automatically pretty good. In A tier.
Here we have. So yeah, the Bound Blaster from Earthrock Trilobite.
Right, it bounces around and can create carnage.
Yeah. Then there's the Flame Burner.
Or it's basically Fire Wave.
A fearsome flamethrower that can roast foes like marshmallows or hot dogs in a fire.
That sounds like Axel wrote that
It
description.
sounds like Axel wrote that. Yeah, flame burner. Yeah, it's a flame. Well, yeah, it's infinite fire wave.
Yeah, it's infinite charged Fire Wave.
Yeah.
No, just Fire Wave. Yeah, it's infinite Fire Wave.
And then there's the blast launcher from Bamboo Pandemonium.
It's slow but powerful time activated grenades.
You can shoot up to 3 at a time if I'm correct.
Yeah. Grenades sit there and explode after a few seconds. Don't they also explode on contact?
Yeah. Then there's the Ice Gatling.
This thing is insane.
Yeah, it's a Gatling.
We're in S tier now, right?
Yeah.
And the S tiers.
Or
the last 3 were A tier.
Yeah.
You're
Ice Gatling is, well, it shoots extremely fast. As can do tons of damage, and it can freeze enemies. It is, but none of these are all of these he's pale in comparison.
2. The ray gun.
Holy the ray gun.
It's a constant stream of damage. Just a laser. It's several smaller projectiles that are spaced to give the illusion of a continuous laser.
Yeah.
And this thing shreds through absolutely anything that doesn't have invincibility frames.
Yeah. For enemies that has no shield.
It shreds through shieldless enemies.
It can also help with when farming metals.
Also because it hits so many times per second.
And yeah, ray gun basically is basically a direct upgrade.
To the A buster.
Axle bullets.
To the axle bullets. So.
I see what I mean. That don't take very long.
Axel just generally has some really good weapons in XA, and I hope if they make a good like X and he's playable and not like an antagonist or something. And the Axel continues to have really good weaponry.
But yeah, wow, yeah, 75 minutes, just a little longer.
A little over an hour talking about this.
So tomorrow,
and tomorrow,
well, we're
getting
into
into
the Mega Man section, and
we get into the biggest section of the month. From
all right, I'm gonna pull that up. Okay, I pull it up.
Yeah, you close the schedule.
Yeah.
You boy. 2022 plans. All right.
Oh Lord.
So
from the 6th,
starting with the 6th and ending on the 17th, that's right. I count them 12 days of Pokemon.
12 days of Pokemon.
12 days of Pokemon on the tier list, and more than 12 lists because a lot of these are combined into one. Because as most of them have multiple, 2 or 3 tier lists in one video. Oh, and that includes tomorrow's video, which is for mainline Pokemon games and the regional and the Pokedexes for each region.
Mm-hmm.
and figured that'd be a good place to start since that's where we started with. That's how we started out the Mega Man. And so please look forward to that. This is going to be a really big video tomorrow.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Yeah.
If I had to guess.
Probably.
That's because Noah has a lot to say about Pokemon games.
Yes. So, with that being said, I'm Nosren.
And I am Ray. And bonjour, my wonderful viewers. See you in the next video.
Yeet.